Okay, we're going to be installing these side nettings, and these side nettings are going to be suspended from a string and pulled like a shower curtain. All the nets come with pre-threaded edges, which we use to transfer onto the cord. We take the cord and we have to transfer it onto the hanging cord. Take electrical tape and lash it onto the cord. And then we'll put a couple of hitches around the cord like so to stop it from slipping, and we will tape it on. One thing to be especially careful of is when you're coming to the point of where you're just on the single cord with your tape, make sure there's a very clean, smooth transition point so that the netting won't hang up on the knots or on the edge of the tape. We then cut the cord that goes through the net, taking care to make sure you either have lots out or, what is a better idea, to just throw a bit of a knot around it so that it can't slip out. We are now going to transfer the netting onto the cord. And as you get to the end of your net, you would drop about 20 meshes for wrapping around to the end of the pole. So you just simply drop them out. Cut your cord, pull it out, put an eye in the end of your cord to hold it. Then we were going to go and put a nail to hold the net. We take the eye that we made in the cord, we hang it on the nail. We next there's a cord in the bottom of this net, and we want to cut it out because we want it to allow it to spread freely. After the bottom has been cut, we're now going to take the cord and we're going to walk it down, the support cord, and we're going to walk it down the end of the field. We're going to tie it to the main post. Okay, we're going to put the nails in to hold the cord, but we won't put the eye in the cord at this point. We just want to tie it off to the post at this time. As we pulled our cord down the full length of the row, we have to tie it off or cleat it off. And a really easy way of doing it is on the nails. Once the cord has been tied off and nice and tight, we leave the coil attached so that we can transfer any excess netting superfluous to the length of this row right onto this cord. Now the net is ready for pulling. We now have the net up and we have all the excess at the end here. At this point we uncleat it, take the excess and just pull it down the cord. We pull through, just a slip knot at this point, just to secure it. We've attached the slip knot to the post. We now have the extra netting transferred onto the extra cord that we left down that's attached to the roll. We now have to cut the net. So we cut it, and when you cut the net, you cut from black edge to black edge. But make sure that you're dealing with a diamond. There's a diamond, point of a diamond, point of a diamond, point of a diamond. And you go all the way across, but don't vary from this cutting method of the point of the diamond, because you'll change direction in your cutting. Once your cut has been complete, now you have your excess netting. It's still attached to the end of the bitter end of the cord. We cut the cord and we cut it off the roll. making sure we don't let go of the ends, because if you do, then there's a lot of re-threading to do. So, and then we tie it in a knot. And this piece that we have left is about 200 feet. So that can go into an area where there's a 200-foot section needed, or we can double up if it's a longer row. You can use two 200-feet ones if you've got a 400-foot row. And you overlap and splice them. These clips that we use are the larger C-clips, wire clips, and we'll just pull the top cord together with this. So we try to get as close to the pole as we can for the clipping, and then we finally end up with one here, and we continue on, but get as close to the pole as you can get. Depending on the foliage you've got, about every 3 or 4 feet seems to work fairly well. If you feel your gaps are too wide, you can increase the numbers of clips you use. And these are a reusable clip, and they're good for several years. Many of the people like their nets just laying on the ground. However, there's some birds like robins which are quite persistent, and they may push underneath. And if you have problems with robins pushing underneath, then just reach underneath, grab the edge of the net, throw a clip in it, and clip it to the net on this side. And you don't have to necessarily have them all that close together.